Many high school students can only use their scientific calculators to maybe about 1% of its potential. Mastering a scientific calculator is a valuable skill, as it can simplify complex calculations, increase overall grades, and decrease time spent on homework. In this video, I'll teach you how to do things on your calculator you never thought possible, and I'll show you all the pro tips and tricks along the way. Have you ever wondered how some people are so good at fractions? Well, let me show you how to use your calculator to help you with that. I'm always surprised at how many of my high school students don't know how to work with fractions on their calculators. So let me show you. On the Sharp, we have this AB button. So when we hit that, we get a fraction. And then we can do whatever we want. Say 5/8 plus, do it again. Let's try 7/9. And what do we get? We get a mixed fraction, but if we hit this change button, it changes it to an improper fraction and then a decimal. On the Casio, it just looks like this. So you can punch that, and to switch it, we want this SD button here. So as we do that, we can switch. And finally, on our Texas instrument, it is right here. To switch it, you want this FD button here. So we're going to have to hit second, FD, fraction to decimal, and enter. Now that we're good with fractions, what about finding things like the greatest common divisor or lowest common multiple? Well, our calculators can do that too. Okay, to factor this, I need to find the greatest common divisor, or the biggest number that goes into both 35 and 84. Luckily, my calculator will do that. Let's try 84, then we'll hit second function. Right there, we have greatest common divisor and lowest common multiple. So let's hit 2, and then 35. And there you go, it's 7. We can do this on the TI calculator as well. We're going to go to math. We have our basic computations. Then we have lowest common multiple, greatest common divisor, prime factorization, sum, products. Great, let's use greatest common divisor. I'm going to hit 84. Now I need a comma, so let's hit second, comma, 35, and bracket. There it is, 7. Picture this, another quadratic equation in front of you, and you have to use the quadratic formula yet again. Or your calculator can do it. Oh great, another quadratic equation that I have to find the roots for. Well, wait a minute, my calculator can do that for me. Let's just go click on mode, and we'll go to equation number 5, and we're going to choose the quadratic number 3, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And now I punch in my a value, which is 2, my b value, which is -10, and my c value, which is 12, and we get one solution is 3, and the other is 2. Okay, but what about graphing quadratics? Do you know how to go from standard form to vertex form? Because our calculators do. Convert standard form to vertex form? I can't remember how to complete the square. Well, that's okay. Let's go to second, polysolve. We're going to choose number 1, our quadratic. We'll put in our a, so -2. Our b is 8. And our c is -3. And we get, okay, so this helps us solve for the roots of the equation. But if we just keep hitting enter, there's the values for a, h, and k in vertex form. Well, how about science class now? Do you like using scientific notation? Do you know how to convert numbers into scientific notation? Because I can show you how to do that on your calculator. Change to scientific notation. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Wait, I think I could just do it on my calculator. On the TI, I just go to mode, and then I can choose normal, scientific, or engineering. If I choose scientific, I'm going to hit enter. There it is in scientific notation. Now, engineering is also a cool mode. If I put it on engineering, it'll change it to the exponent closest divisible by 3. So I can quickly say, if this were, for example, a length, that it's 650 nanometers. On the Sharp calculator, I go second function setup, and then FSE number 1, I can change it to scientific and engineering. When you're done, go back to normal 1. On our Class Whiz, we go to Settings, Calculator Settings, and then we can change number format to scientific and choose how many significant digits we actually want to represent that in. Continuing with science class now, do you get a lot of constants that you have to remember? Do you know that you don't actually have to remember them? Your calculator can. Let me show you. Look at all these constants I have to memorize for science class. Oh, wait a minute. What's store and recall? If I were to take one of these constants and store it into A, can I then recall that later? Recall A. That's awesome! We also have store and recall on this calculator as well. And on this one. Oh, wait a minute. This one says constants. Look at all of those constants. So many constants. Is this the mass of a proton? There it is. Do the other calculators have this constant button? This one does. And so does this one. Amazing. And finally, the thing students hate the most about science class is converting units. Having to go from meters to kilometers or milligrams to grams or even using feet. No, we don't do that in Canada though. But your calculator can do it all. I can never remember the conversions from centimeters to inches. Wait a minute. I think my calculator can do it for me. Let me hit alpha and then conversion. And there you go. Number 2 is centimeters to inches. 10.23 inches. The TI calculator has it as well. They hit second and convert. We'll go to English to metric and centimeters to inches. There we go. Perfect. What about on the Casio? There's conversion. So shift 8. What number am I supposed to put in? Well, I hope you haven't lost your cover because here's all of our constants and our conversions. So centimeters to inches is 0.2. And there you go. You know when you have a final formula or an expression, you have to substitute these numbers in for x and y. Your calculator does that. On our TI calculator, we can evaluate an expression with express evaluate. We're going to hit second and write our expression. So we can write 2x squared plus 7, enter, and then choose what the value of x would be, for example, 2. And there you go. We can even do this if we have more than one variable. So let's go to expression. We're going to do 2x plus 3. And if we just hit this button more than once, we get other variables. And then we can put in the value for x and the value for y. And there you go. Physics class can have a lot of formulas, and we often just have to rearrange them. Or have your calculator rearrange it. Rearranging equations is so hard and took so many steps. I hope I did it right. Wait a minute. I can use my calculator to check. Let's start with 2 bracket. We have 2 alpha x minus 5 bracket plus 7. Now instead of using this equals, I'm going to use alpha equals 11 minus bracket 6x minus 6. And again, instead of using this equals, I'm going to go shift solve. That too was the previously stored value for x, but now I'm going to solve for x equals, the answer is 2. It works. Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it? But what if you have 2 equations with 2 unknowns? How do you solve a system of equations? Well, you have to substitute or eliminate or your calculator. Solve a system of equations. Should I use substitution or elimination? I know. I'll use my calculator. Hit second and system solve. Let's do 2 equations for 2 unknowns. So we're going to have a 2x plus 1y equals 7. And then we have negative 1 plus 1y is equal to negative 2. When we solve, there we go. You can do this as well on the Sharp. If you go to Mode and Equation, you can solve for 2 equations with 2 unknowns or 3 with 3 unknowns, just like the TI-36. And on the Class Whiz, we go to Home, come over to Equation. We're going to use the first one, and oh, this is just showing off 4 equations with 4 unknowns. Do you like solving cubics? I mean, first you have to find one factor and then do algebraic long division to find the other factors, and wait, why don't we just use our calculator? Oh no, I have to solve a cubic? If only I knew one factor, I could go from there. Wait a minute. My calculator can help me find all of them. If I go to Mode and then Equation, the cubic is number 4. I type in my A value, my B value, C, and D. And we get 3, -2. Great. Just make sure when you're done, you go back to Mode and Computation to get back to your normal calculator. On the Sharp, it's the same thing. Mode, Equations number 4, and then our cubics number 3. Just make sure when you're done, you go back to normal. On the Texas Instrument, we have to go second and polysolve. Then our cubic is number 2. Do you know how to calculate inequalities? I mean, I just got used to using an equal sign. Now I have to use greater than, less than, or get the calculator to do it. An inequality. My Class Whiz can take care of this. Let's go to Home, and we'll go down to Inequality. We'll choose our quadratic and a greater than 0. So now we plug in our A value, our B value, and our C value. And there we have it. Whenever I have to take the absolute value of something, I always forget about getting rid of the negatives. I wish I could just put absolute value brackets into my calculator. Well, you can. I often get students giving me percent error as a negative value. So if you can't remember that absolute values gives you a positive value, just use those vertical brackets on your calculator. Most calculators, you'll see this ABS button. So on a Sharp, we'll set second, ABS, and then, for example, 7 minus 9. And there you go, +2. On our TI calculator, we're going to go to Math, over to Number, and there we are, absolute value, number 1. So now you can do 15 minus 20. And there you go, +5. On our Class Whiz, we're going to go to Catalog, and then down to Numeric Calculations, and there's absolute value. So now 50 minus 100 is +50. So I have to take the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 all the way up to 1,000. It's going to take forever to punch into my calculator. Oh. Or it will take me just a couple seconds. Do you know how? All right, so 2 divided by 1 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 2. This is going to take me forever. Oh, hold on. Let me go to Catalog and Function Analysis. There's a summation right here. So I can go from x equals 1 to 100 for the function 2 over x. And there you go. On our TI calculator, we're going to go to Math, and then down to Sum. And there you go. On our Sharp calculator, there's the sigma there. So alpha, sigma. And there you go. Do you know composite functions? You know, when you have g of f of x, or g of x of g of... what? Let's check this out on our calculators. Whoa, so much substitution. Well, hold on, I have a function button. Okay, well, let's define these functions. First, f of x, that's 2 minus x. And now let's define g of x. That is x squared plus 2x. And now let's start with f of g of 3. And we get minus 13. There we go. Do you have the equation you memorized for doing the cross product of two vectors? You know, that really big, long equation? Or do you use some sort of a visual to help you figure it out? Or do you just check it on your calculator? Did you know you could work with vectors on your calculator? That means cross and dot product. Check this out. We're going to click on Home, and we're going to select Vector. To define vector, we're going to go to Tools, and you can define what your vectors are, right? You can edit or define a new. Choose whether it's a 2 or 3 dimensions, and then write in what your vector is. Okay, let's define another vector. Let's do C. Now that we've done that, let's try a cross product. So we're going to go to Catalog, choose Vector, a vector calculation, and we're going to do a cross product. What are we going to do a cross product of? Go back to Catalog, Vector. We're going to choose Vector A, and we're going to cross it with Vector C. And what do we get? We get our answer. Have you ever wondered what 1 plus 1 is when there is no number 2? It's called binary. Let's figure out what it is on our calculator. If you want to change a number to binary, on our Sharp calculator, here we have binary, hexadecimal, octal, pental, and our normal decimal. So we're going to punch in 21, and then second function, binary. So there's 21 in binary. Once you're in binary, you could start adding or subtracting or doing whatever you like using the binary number system. On your class whiz, all you need to do is go to Home and go down to your base N, where you can then change it. Just hit Format. You can change between hexadecimal, binary, octal, and decimal. Just make sure when you're done, you put it back onto decimal. On our TI calculator, you're going to go to Mode, and then just scroll down till you get to decimal, hexadecimal, binary, or octal. Change it to whatever you like. Derivatives are fun in calculus class. Sometimes I worry I didn't get it right, though. I wish there was an easy way to just check. Oh, wait. I'll just ask my calculator to do it. Find the slope of the tangent. Well, that's just the derivative. My calculator does that. Right there, d by dx. So we'll hit alpha, d by dx. Our function is 2 alpha x to the power of 3. And we want to find it for x equals 3. There we go. On the class whiz, we're going to Catalog, then to Function Analysis and Derivatives. And there we go. On our TI calculator, we have it right here, second function. And there we go. Fast forwarding now to integration, our calculators can do that too. Let's see. Find the area under a function. Well, that's just the integral. Let's go to Catalog, Function Analysis, and Integration. We're going to find it between 2 and 5, and our function is 2x squared. And there we go. On our TI calculator, it's right here, so second function. And there you go. And finally, on our Sharp, we have our integral here, so alpha. And there you go. Matrices. Okay, this is starting to get a little bit beyond high school, so this will be our last one. But they take so long to solve. But they're so useful. Luckily, our calculators can solve them pretty quickly. Did you know you can work with matrices on your calculator? We're just going to go to Home, and we're going to go down and select Matrix. Use tools to define your matrix. I've already defined a 3 by 3 matrix here, right, as shown here. And I've defined a 3 by 2 matrix here, as you can see. Then what you can do is go to Catalog, and if you want, you can do all sorts of matrix calculations. Or you can go to Catalog and select your matrix, and if you want, we can multiply the two matrices. And there's our answer. Well, that's it for this tutorial on our basic scientific calculator. But if you want to learn more about how to use a graphing calculator, then check out my videos on grade 11 functions. Those tutorials not only go through how to deal with all the math problems you're doing in your grade 11 math class, but also how to use that graphing calculator to help you through it.